I'm sitting in my car about to walk in to get acupuncture. I have never done this before. I don't know what to expect. I don't have any specific thing that I want fixed, but I have a lot of little things, and so I'm going to see what they have to say. See how it goes. I'll let you know. Okay, I didn't take any photos or videos while I was in getting the acupuncture treatment because we had to turn our phones off, and I did. I figured, okay, follow the rules. But I wanted to tell you how it felt. I just left, so I'm freshly acupunctured, and it was interesting as heck. The gentleman put in 9 needles and it didn't hurt. I was a little leery of that, but it was fine. 2 in each leg, 2 in each arm, and 1 on the top of my head. And it took a little bit, but one of the needles in my arm right away started shaking, vibrating. And he said that's energy, coming up through the needle. So that was interesting, and I could feel that arm a lot of the time. I was probably in there 40 minutes or so with the needles in, and I could feel that arm, my right arm, a lot of the time. And I got itchy in places. Just my skin was just itchy. It wasn't something that I had to actually scratch it, but it was just a sensation of feeling itchy. I also had a lot of chills inside, like kind of like if you have the flu, when you take a deep breath, you can really feel it. It was similar to that, but not exactly the same. So it was a very interesting experience, and I think I'll try it again. So that's my report from the first acupuncture treatment that I had today. I'm home from the acupuncture appointment, and I feel pretty good. The acupuncturist told me to pay attention to my body, today and the next few days, and see how I feel. And I feel, there's my kitty talking, my house, there he is. Come here. Do you want to be on camera? Here we go. Here he is. Say hi. Hello. He's a good boy. So I feel like I have more energy, and that was one of the things that I wrote down on the intake form, was that I was having some low energy days and just feeling a little down, depressed, anxious, and now I'm watching him. He's playing. Can hear him talking. So that, along with my tinnitus that I've done another video about, and just some other health issues, like my right hand gets sore sometimes, my left knee, I think I sprained it one time from overdoing it, walking too much, and so I just wrote down all the things I could think of. I have insomnia sometimes, and so he was saying that acupuncture could help all of these things. So that's good to know. I'm very eager to see how this plays out. And I wanted to mention that while I was there, it was a room with 8 recliners, and there were about six of us who came and went. There were some people there when I got there, and some of them got up and left. Some came while I was still there. So it's kind of it was my first appointment. So, I went in not knowing how it worked, but basically they come in, lay down in a recliner, and the acupuncturist goes and talks to them. And I think most of them had been there before, because he just started putting the needles in as they talked and knew kind of what to do. So it was very interesting, if nothing else. And one lady, 2 recliners over from me, was snoring. And I just thought that was funny. I can't fall asleep places like that. I rarely can sleep on an airplane, but some people get relaxed and they just fall asleep. She did. And then a lady came in after me, a young woman, and she was across from me, and she fell asleep, and she had kind of drool coming down her face. You know, good for her. I wish I could fall asleep and not worry about, because I would be freaking out thinking, am I drooling? Am I snoring? It's probably one reason I can't fall asleep in public. So, you know, it's not a big deal. We all probably do it. But I just thought it was fascinating that, you know, the whole setup, it was very interesting to me. And I'm glad I did it. I probably will go back. The gentleman said, just check and see how you feel for a few days. And it is always a good idea, he said, to try it about 3 times, because it's a compound effect. It can build on each other. You know, each session can help, you know, so you get better each time. So I probably will go back next week and check it out again. And there's the kitty. So I just wanted to let you know how this session went. And I would love to hear if you've ever had acupuncture and how it went. If it's something you do on a regular basis, if you've just been once, if you go every week, if you go 2 times a week. You know, he said that it's something that you kind of will, you know, as you do it 2 or 3 times, helps figure out what you need and what to expect and what he thinks would help with your symptoms. It was quite an experience. Glad I did it. I wanted to talk real quickly about what it felt like when the needles went in. So the acupuncturist was very kind. He was really good, I think, at what he does. He explained everything to me, that, you know, the needles were very thin, that he would tell me before he put one in that it may or may not cause a little pinch or hurt a little bit. These are my words. I don't remember what he said exactly, but he found a pressure point, which basically is, or some kind of point. He would take his finger and run it like right there. There's a dip. And it just feels different. And when he did it to me, I couldn't tell. But when I'm using my own finger and doing it, I can definitely tell there's a little dip there. And he said that's a good spot, a good point. So he kind of tapped the area. I don't know if it was with his other hand. I wasn't watching because I didn't want to see the needle go in. But he kind of tapped it, and then he tapped the needle, and it has a little case on it that comes off, and then the needle is sticking up. I didn't feel it go in at all. And I don't think it goes in very deep because the needle was sticking out quite a bit, you know, out of my arm. And so it didn't hurt. The needle's going in. He put one in the top of my head, and I didn't feel it, but I felt my head started to feel different. It was just like I could feel my head, like the physical, you know, like, okay, I have this thing up here where you don't normally feel parts of your body like that. It brought attention to them. So it was very painless. It was easy. I did ask him, what if I move? Can I like jam it in farther? And he said, just move very slowly. And the way he put him in, he said, would not cause them to get bumped very easily, you know, if I just laid there. So that's what I did, and it worked out great. It was not painful. I was very happy about that. I wanted to mention some symptoms that I noticed after having acupuncture. It's the next day, and I noticed right away while I was getting the acupuncture treatment, I had to go pee. I had to actually, you know, rush, put my shoes and socks back on, and use the bathroom at the place because I really had to go, which is not uncommon for me. I have to go a lot. That's just natural for me, but this was more urgent feeling. So that was fine. And I kind of figured it might release, whatever. And then yesterday evening, I noticed I had to go a lot more also. So I don't know if that's a side effect of the acupuncture or just, maybe I drank more water. I'm not sure. I do have to go a lot. So it's not uncommon for me, but it did seem a little different. And then I also noticed, I'm kind of sniffing here, it has caused me to have a runny nose. It's draining my sinuses, I think, because I'm not sick or anything. I haven't had a cold, but yesterday, after about 2 hours, I guess, after having the acupuncture treatment, I noticed my nose just kind of drained. It was like the sinuses just let loose. So I had to blow my nose several times, and this morning I'm having to do that too. And I just looked it up, and it is a side effect or a perk, whatever you want to call it, of getting acupuncture. And people probably go for this reason alone. But one of the headlines I looked at on the internet when I was searching, it said it releases fluids. So makes perfect sense. It has released quite a bit of my fluids. To sum up my experience of the first time having acupuncture, I would say it was positive. I enjoyed the experience. It was interesting and strange and good. I didn't know what to expect, but I did feel better immediately after, the needles were pulled out, and it didn't hurt. It was some different sensations in my body, but that's okay. I think that means it was working and doing something. And yes, I have scheduled another appointment for next week. So I'm going to continue to go for the acupuncturist said at least 2 to 3 sessions is usually a good idea to get an idea of how your body reacts, and gives them an idea too of what to do, I guess. I don't know much about it, but I would say 2 thumbs up so far for acupuncture. And I'd love to hear if you've ever had acupuncture and how it went. I talked to some friends today who, 2 of them had it, and one of them loved it. She, told me some different specific, reactions she had, and the sinus drainage was definitely one of them. The other person remembers going, but doesn't remember anything about it. It was a long time ago. So I'd love to hear your experience. If you've had it, if you know anybody who has, if it helped. So leave a comment and let us know. And I will see you next time.